Welcome to Will Thing TV, I'm Dave Knoll. This week we're checking out the 2016 Suzuki Swift in Navigator specification. It's a compact little car, it's under 4 metres in length, and as you can see in regards to the shape of the car, it really hasn't changed all that much since this was released around a decade or so ago. Still a very sporting looking car, a very pretty looking little car, and certainly a very hard ride, surprisingly enough, given the size of the wheels that it's got on there. Look, we've got 16-inch wheels clad in Turanza tyres. It's meant to be a sporting ride, but unfortunately it just seems to crash a little bit too hard on some of the smaller bumps. It really doesn't give you any feeling of comfort whatsoever. An informative, if basic, dash for the driver. You do get some information, as you can see in the centre screen there. Temperature, tacho, speedo, fuel, the usual stuff that you need to have. A real issue for me personally, and I'll stress that word personally, is the touchscreen that you get in the Navigator. You don't get to go off all by itself. You literally do have to press this agree button to get rid of that screen. Other cars will have it there for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever the case might be. But in this case, this particular vehicle, it's there for as long as you are driving the car. Not really an ideal situation, and possibly one that could distract the driver. Fit and finish of the plastics, very high quality, but unfortunately a lot of shine from the dashboard. It's very smooth plastic. This really just reflects up here into the driver's vision, and that is quite distracting, and certainly in certain instances, especially coming to spring, where we've got the sun coming down at certain angles straight into the driver's eyes, all you'd be able to see is just a big slab of black plastic reflecting into the driver's face, and very unsafe in certain situations for sure. Although we do have this touchscreen issue, we do have the basics in regards to air conditioning. Again, very simple in regards to dial, how hot or cold, how fast, where do you want it to go, recirculate air conditioning, and rear window demister. Down there, 12 volt and auxiliary sockets. This is a real fiddly thing for Suzuki. It works, but at the same time, it's just a little bit of one of those, why bother? A lot of other companies don't even worry about putting the little dust covers over the top, and they all seem to work reasonably well. Up here on the steering wheel, we do get the audio controls, something you don't get in a Celerio. Bluetooth, which is a nice little thing to have nowadays, especially at this level of vehicle, and of course cruise control. Only auto down for the window, you don't get auto up, and that's only just for the driver's window. No auto headlights, which again, I really do wish car makers would consider putting through. And down here we do get at least our traction control and the driving lights as well. Although it's a split fold rear seat setup to give you extra luggage space, it looks initially like you don't have a lot of room. What we do though is flip that up, and yes, we do have some extra space, but if you want to do some tall shopping, you actually have to pull that out and put it in the back seat. 70 kilowatts, 130 newton meters at 6,000 and 4,000 RPM respectively, mated to a 6-speed automatic, and there is a real issue with this particular car. It's a nice little car to drive, it handles reasonably well, it's very sharp in its steering, but the ride quality and that transmission hold everything back. It's very bouncy, it's very juddery, it's very tight, it's very taut, not a lot of suspension travel initially. And having a 4-speed auto nowadays with this kind of engine just really holds the car back. It's very slow, it's sluggish. Ideal if you're a first car driver, but really in an age where we've got 5 and 6-speed autos available, or even a reasonably calibrated CVT, that should really be the consideration for this car. The Suzuki Swift Navigator is not quite the sum of its whole parts. It rides just a little bit too harshly. That 4-speed auto really holds it back in an age where 5 and 6-speed autos are the norm. This is possibly where a decently calibrated CVT might be a better option. It's got enough torque for it, so maybe it's something Suzuki needs to consider. For further details, check out suzuki.com.au. For Will Thing TV, I'm Dave Knoll.